Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the FDA's use of Web 2.0 technologies, specifically concerning our communication strategy surrounding the peanut product recall. I'm sure you all remember back in the beginning of the year, the peanut product recall. There were a number of products that were contaminated with salmonella. These products range from pet food, ice cream, snack crackers, things you don't normally associate with peanuts themselves. And that was our challenge. We had to alert the public that there were these products out there contaminated that were recalled that we didn't want people to eat because it could make them sick. So what we decided to do, in addition to our traditional channels, we wanted to leverage Web 2.0 channels. Why? Because we realized people are not going to necessarily come to the FDA website. They're going to talk among themselves. They're going to other websites. We want to get our content on as many boxes out there as possible. So our goal was to make our information shareable and to use places where people are already communicating to put our information so they could share amongst themselves. Ultimately, the goal was to hit as many different channels as possible, traditional media, Web 2.0, and to really get people to not eat these contaminated products. So we didn't neglect traditional web channels. We used RSS feeds, we used email, and I don't want to minimize those because those did have a great impact. But we wanted to reach outside that, and this was our first attempt to step into the Web 2.0 space. And so this recall gave us an opportunity to leverage these channels. The most important information that we had to get out there was this database of peanut products that were recalled. That was the information we wanted people to know about. They could search for products, see if it was safe to eat or not safe to eat. We made this available as an XML file as one of many formats, and we allowed people to take that data and to do with it what they will. This is an example of a visualization of the snack bar category. We had people create an iPhone app, and people could take the data and basically do things we wouldn't have the resources or even the imagination necessarily to come up with. So that was one of our main goals, and I think we succeeded with that. In social media space, we started with Twitter. We put our recalls out in a brand new Twitter feed. We got a lot of great response. We got about 12,000 followers now. People really reacted positively to that, and we listened to what they had to say in response to what we were tweeting. We also created a widget. This was key, I think. A widget is a piece of code that can be placed on blogs or websites and very shareable. This widget allows people to access our database, search for products that are contaminated, and find if what they have in front of them is one of the products that were recalled or contaminated. This was posted on over 20,000 sites, got a lot of page views. This is an example of the Migrant Clinicians Network, just an example of how our content can be out on another site. People are browsing that site. They can find our content. It's branded. They know it's from the FDA, and they can use it. And that was, again, our goal, and it succeeded wildly with the use of the widget. We also wanted to leverage YouTube. We had a lot of videos we've created in the past, but we decided to create one video in particular, the do's and don'ts about the salmonella outbreak, because people were asking questions. We were listening, and we decided to respond back with a video that answered those questions. In addition, we created a second video that also talked about just the anatomy of the outbreak and what happened with the outbreak. Interestingly enough, the do's and don'ts video was about 5 times more popular, and we think that's because really it was based on what people were saying to us. It was also shorter. It was very to the point. Even though it was just a person talking, answering questions, at least it got the point across. At the time, we didn't have a blog available, so we set up a webinar for bloggers. We partnered with CDC, Centers for Disease Control. We got influential health bloggers and mommy bloggers together, and we had spokespeople talk to them and give them the content they needed to blog to their constituency. And so that really helped us reach the blogosphere. Also, with CDC's help, we created Ecards, especially this was useful around the Super Bowl. We didn't want people eating contaminated snacks around Super Bowl time, so people would go onto a website. They could send their friends a little e-card reminder about what products are contaminated and not to eat them during the Super Bowl. We didn't want to forget the mobile space. CDC, again, was a partner in this. They already had a mobile site and the ability to send out text messages, so we leveraged that, and we're sending out our information via that channel as well, because as we know, there are people that have cell phones, don't have computers. We wanted to cast the widest possible net in doing this. We did a lot more content syndication. We used MySpace, Facebook. There's a website you can look there to see. You can look it up. We try to hit as many different channels as possible, sort of a shotgun approach. And we received a lot of positive feedback as a result. One of the things we heard back from the press, a lot of press coverage was surprised the FDA was entering this space. I think it was our first time. And people were glad to see us doing that. I can say that we're moving forward in that arena, and we're glad that we had the opportunity to start in this arena. And the feedback from the public was overwhelmingly positive. We got a lot of email, a lot of tweets back. People were very, very happy. And they did provide a lot of valuable feedback, a lot of great wisdom that they provided to help us moderate and decide what messages we're sending out in response. Lessons learned from this, I would say to start somewhere. You don't have to do everything at once. We sort of built in a very incremental fashion. We also listened to what people were saying out there and tried to answer the questions, the information they were sending. Start low risk. Don't have to do the highest risk or the most expensive things. Don't recreate the wheel. We partnered with CDC, and they were very helpful in leveraging a lot of their capabilities. Listen to the wisdom of crowds. People gave us a lot of feedback, and in turn, we used that feedback to put out information that was very helpful. And finally, learn from your mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. People make a lot of mistakes. The trick is to learn from them and move forward. Thank you.